Are you feeling powerless against a system designed to break families apart? Do you demand answers, truth, and justice when it comes to child protective services? Then it's time to shatter the silence and tune in to the #1 CPS podcast that speaks the harsh truth. TIFF and the Punisher. We're here to expose what they don't want you to know, to give a voice to the voiceless, and to empower you with the information you need to fight back. Join us live Monday through Friday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/@abolishcps. Every Thursday, we bring in a special guest host, the one and only Angry Citizen, to dive even deeper into the issues that matter most. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. We're creating a new wave, a community demanding accountability and transparency from CPS. But we don't just talk about the problems, we offer solutions. Introducing the CPS Punisher app, the educator they didn't want you to find. Available at www.thecpspunisher.com. This revolutionary tool is a must-have for anyone involved with CPS cases. It helps you track and analyze every detail, giving you the upper hand and the knowledge to navigate this complex system. Don't walk into your next CPS interaction unprepared. Arm yourself with the truth, arm yourself with knowledge, and arm yourself with the CPS Punisher. Join the fight, get informed, and become part of the new wave. TIFF and the Punisher. The truth they can't silence. Tune in tonight.
All right, let's talk about this affidavit.
We need to document every illegal CPS action. Right, we need sworn statements from witnesses.
Good, let's get this written and filed. Let's get this filed right now! Get this affidavit into the file immediately! We got it filed, it's done! We just got another child home to their mom by using the affidavit. It's the most powerful tool you have!
Learn it, Master Judge. Join us tonight!
70 Punisher, 1776 didn't die. It just changed zip codes. Stop! 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 Hey! 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 Tiffany Wise with a torch in her hand, Punisher walking with the record and the plan. They've been naming the machine in the open air while the state been kicking in doors like they own the air. Due process ain't a courtesy, they get to skip Fourth Amendment still means keep your hands off this. They've been drawing the line in the dirt with their boots, and the line says this far and not 1 inch.
Then the angry citizen came out of the north, oath in his chest and the sheriff in his mouth. He don't bow to a badge that forgot the oath. He don't smile when they come for your house.
Same playbook they've been running for years. Rubber stamp courts and a warrantless fear. Now the trio's locked, loaded, and live on the wire, and the machine just heard the rumble drawing near.
They thought we were tired, they thought we were done. They forgot what happens when the people load the gun. Not a steel of law, not a rage of right. We still fly that coiled snake in the black of night.
Don't tread on me,
Don't tread on us.
this is Tiff and the Punisher.
Now joined by the angry citizen.
3 voices,
One constitution.
we don't kneel, we don't fall,
We won't stand for stolen children.
we won't stand for the lie. 1776 is still breathing, and it just walked in tonight.
They can seize the house, they can smear the name, they can bury the file and call it the game, but they cannot seize the blood in these veins, and they cannot rewrite the words that remain.
Life, liberty, family property, that's not a slogan, that's the charge.
We didn't come to beg the throne, we came to put the throne back in the yard.
signal is loud, ain't no more whispering, we shouting it out.
Every mother they broke, every father they framed, every kid they took is a name we still say.
Don't tread on me,
Don't tread on us.
this is Tiff and the Punisher.
Now joined by the angry citizen.
Three voices,
One constitution.
we don't kneel, we don't fold,
We won't stand for stolen children.
we won't stand for the lie. 1776 is still breathing, and it just walked in tonight. When in the course of human events, a government forgets who it serves, the people do not ask permission, the people reserve.
We hold these truths not as decoration, as ammunition, as jurisdiction, as the hill, as the line, as the wall.
You will not take another child in the dark. You will not hide behind best interest while you cash the check. You will not tread, not on this house, not on this family,
Not on this flag.
don't tread on me.
Don't tread on us.
This is Tiff and the Punisher.
Now joined by the angry citizen.
Three voices,
One constitution.
we don't kneel, we don't fold,
We won't stand for stolen children.
we won't stand for the lie. 1776 is still breathing.
Ride shotgun all the way home tonight.
Don't tread, don't tread,
The kids are coming home.
don't tread. Don't tread on us.
Oh, it was weak. Yeah, what's up, guys? What'd you think of that?
I like it.
What did you think?
Yeah, I like it
Good
too.
stuff.
Oh, good. I worked very hard at that today. Well,
I'm glad
ladies
that
and gentlemen.
hold on. I'm glad you made that song, because I think people forget, right? I'm talking about in this CPS world that we all live in, that the Constitution does apply, right? And whether they like it or not, it is the superior law of the land. And they need to get over it, because it's not going to change. They've tried to change it for almost 100 years. They called conventions. It didn't happen because they need 2/3 of the state. Yeah, so I'm glad you made that song, because that's absolutely true. The Constitution is what we the people stand on. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
just had to get that off my chest.
That's still good for you. And I want to point out, I put this in the comments, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and all laws that are repugnant to it are null and void. This is a Supreme Court ruling, Marbury versus Madison. Now, I personally am offended by the fact that we have to have the Supreme Court tell us this in the first place. It's a little like you got a bunch of people coming over to your house. You say, hey, listen, folks, do me a favor. Could you please don't put any drinks on my wooden coffee table, right? And someone goes, well, what if I'm really drunk? Can I do it then? And you go, no, hold on. Back up, bro. Literally just said, well, you know what? How about if we make a rule? No, that is the rule. The rule is don't do it. We already have a rule. And you're going to hear people right now talking about all these things they want to pass, all these laws. We want to pass a law, for example, and I know this to be true. If any of our elected servants perjure their oaths, okay, they swear an oath, they're required to swear an oath. And the oath is to defend and support the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if they perjure their oath, as soon as they vote for an unconstitutional act, and this means, and fact check me if you don't believe this is true, when those bastards passed the Patriot Act every single one of them that voted yes lost their seat. I swear to God that is true. God is my witness. That is absolutely true. As soon as they commit an act that is in violation of their oath, they are removed from office with all pay and benefits forsaken, gone, and that's the law of the land. Now, it's not enforced, but passing more laws isn't going to help. They're already ignoring the ones we have on the books, including and especially the Constitution. And lastly, I want to point out to everyone, because of the whole scamdemic put this to the test, no emergency power supersedes the Constitution. No one has the authority. No one has the authority to tell you you have to close your business or stay in your home or are not allowed. I hate that phrase with every fiber of my being. Not allowed. Not allowed to travel. Not allowed to leave your house. Not allowed. They do not have the authority to tell you what you are and are not allowed to do. And if they pass a law that is repugnant to the Constitution, repugnant means it is they cannot exist together. They are mutually exclusive. All right, it is null and void. And again, the enforcers are going to still enforce it. The judicial system is still going to charge you with the crime, convict you of a crime, and punish you for it. But that is not because the law doesn't exist. It's because they're ignoring the law. That's an important distinction. Thank you, Darren, for calling that up. Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution, Supremacy Clause. The Constitution, federal laws, and treaties are the supreme law of the land. This means that federal law takes precedence over any conflicting state law. Conflicting is the operative word here. So no, you can't pass. For example, here in Maine, they have now passed what's called a yellow flag gun law, which means if they can get some official people, I believe it's a judge and a psychiatrist or psychologist of some sort, all to testify and affirm that you are potentially a danger, they can supposedly come to your home and seize your firearms. Now, they can't, because Article 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Article 4, presenting searches and seizures without a warrant. See? And you can't make a law that supersedes that. It is not a law. Literally, in the eyes of the judicial system and the so-called legal system, it doesn't exist. So bank on that, folks. That's where you need to hang your hat every day. That's where we plant the flag. That's the hill on which I die. End of rant.
Pass the baton.
It's all yours, guys. Who wants to pick it up? On the floor, take it.
I want to say welcome to Alicia. She's here tonight with us. Our girl Alicia's right out there. She's well, I know what she's doing, but she's out there watching us, so I want to say hi to her. Also, Madman. Madman's back there. I don't know if you guys saw him pop in there for a minute. He showed up. Maybe we'll give him a second here to give us a little what's up and an update on his life. Yeah, that was good. Tiffany, what pissed you off so much about the Constitution that made you just go on a rant like such?
Well, I'm just going to talk around the edges. So I get tired of people that we are supposed to be representing us in these, whatever you want to call it, say, well, I don't know if we should really be teaching parents that they have rights because it might be confrontational with CPS. Who the fuck cares? You come
Amen.
and talk to my child without me knowing. You bring that shit to my front
Remember,
door.
we're on the outside. We're on the outside.
No, I'm just talking in general now.
Okay, all right.
And you don't want me to know my rights. For what? Why? Because you don't want a confrontation? The confrontation starts the minute you knock on my door.
Or come to see your kid.
Right. At the school or the daycares. Or what really pisses me off is when you're trapped at the fucking hospital with a newborn baby.
Alicia knows about that one.
Really gets me. Yep. I know. But we don't want to teach parents their rights. Well, first of all, the Constitution is up. We already know you took it out of school so that people wouldn't learn it. And now you don't want parents knowing that they have rights against the government that we, the people, are the owners of? I'm telling you, I have to bite my tongue a lot of times because of the shit that I'm dealing with. But I have a real problem with that. Who cares if it's confrontational? Whomever steps on your property or talks to your children or traps you at the hospital or all the crazy, conniving, evil shit that they do, the confrontation starts when they show up, not when the parent goes looking for it. How many parents on here go looking for CPS? Please raise your hand. Nobody. That's what I have a problem with. So we want to keep the people oppressed and not give them the tools that helps. I have a problem with that. I have a real problem with that.
Me too.
I certainly do.
I think learning your rights is one of the most important things you can do. One of a mutual friend of ours that Darren, actually the guy that brought Darren and I together, used to always say, if you don't know your rights, you have no rights. And that is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't use them, you lose them.
And if I let you lose yours,
you can use
yours. Then I am next.
Everybody loses, right?
Right.
And this is another thing. It's not just the parents that have rights. The children have rights too. They have the same rights as we do, right?
Well said.
Bravo.
They get a little bit more because they are innocent and they need to be protected. That's what the parents, or not just the parents, the family, the village that they're in, they also need to be protecting them. So why again can't we teach parents their rights? I'm not understanding.
Yeah, I cannot point to the law, but I have a friend who is a constitutional historian, one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. His name is Keaton Broders, and I will try to find some of his stuff here while we're talking. But he's taught me a lot. This guy's an absolute genius, and he told me, and I believe him. This man knows what he is talking about, and I haven't been able to find it. But he told me there was a law passed, I think he said in the 70s, that required us to teach the Constitution in schools, and it's probably true. And you got to ask yourself, America, everyone really, really needs to ask yourself this question. This is important. Why, if we live in America and we're doing, when I was in school, we did the Pledge of Allegiance and they played the national anthem and they played it at sporting events and we learned all the, songs. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York highways. We learned these and we sang them in school.
To the Redwood Forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
There you go. So now ask yourself, America, why would they not teach our Constitution, Bill of Rights, Constitution itself? Why would they not teach these in school? And the answer is obvious, because if we don't know, that's exactly right. If we don't know, we can't use it. We can't truly be free. We cannot defend ourselves lawfully if we don't know our rights. And they constantly tell you, and I saw a book, a history book that said the Second Amendment was written to make sure that the National Guard can be armed. That's what this book said. This is a textbook that was introduced into one of our schools, or say they're brainwashing, trying to brainwash the kids. Second Amendment doesn't mean what it says. That sure as hell does. And if you research what our founding fathers said about the Second Amendment, it is crystal abundantly clear that they meant it to mean exactly what it says, which is I have the right to arm myself in whatever damn way I want at my discretion. And no one has the authority to tell me I'm not allowed to do that. That's what it means. They don't teach it because they don't want us to know. They don't want our kids to know. Imagine an entire generation of well-educated Americans, right? How would that change the landscape?
Yeah. Well, do you remember this,
not
Dana?
only that, go ahead, Darren. What is it? Oh,
I got to show you all this. This was part of Saturday morning, man. Do you guys remember this?
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will. But today I'm still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm alive. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I'm still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time it's over.
By that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I'm still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, just figured
Gotta
I'd
love
show
it.
that. That was a part
Yep.
of our Saturday morning.
That was when we grew up. We watched this every Saturday morning. It was awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Yep. Yep.
I remember when my grandkids started kindergarten, right? This is how dumb I am. I was like, "Oh, did you get to say the Pledge of Allegiance?" He said, "What are you talking about? They even took that out."
Oh yeah,
do you
we
remember
did it
the
every
time
morning.
do you remember the episode that we did, the Pledge of Allegiance, where we did the challenge?
Yes,
the Pledge of
and we
Allegiance?
couldn't get it right,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like I
Can
haven't
you
said
do
the
it,
Pledge
Dana?
of Allegiance since.
Oh yeah.
Can you do it? Let's hear it.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wrong.
Well, that's
Very
more
nice.
than I
Pledge
know
allegiance
now.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice. I stand corrected.
Well, that's okay, but I couldn't even get that shit out.
He only missed one word. That was it.
Oh, wow.
I know he did.
But yeah, they're not doing this
So-
stuff in school anymore.
No.
We used to.
Yeah,
I
no,
watched that in school.
that's not an
actually.
accident. Not an accident. So Darren, I put a link in the private chat for a video that which I would like you to play. Remember earlier I was talking about how my rights are yours and yours are mine, and
Yeah.
this is an episode of a TV show that I used to watch called L.A. Law, and Candace Bergen did a great speech in front of a jury during one of the trials, where she talked about, and this was a piece that was originally written by a man who was in Nazi Germany during the rise of the Nazi regime. And I'm not going to try to repeat it just because I don't think I can do it justice. But the gist of it is, and Darren, if you can bring it up, you want to play it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the gist of it is basically that, I watched other people having their rights taken away.
Martin Niemöller, a German pastor who opposed the Nazis. In Germany, they came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I didn't speak up because I was a Protestant. Then they came for me, and by that time, there was no one left to speak up.
There you go. We have to speak for each other. Okay, it doesn't matter how you feel about people. If they're a Democrat and you're a Republican, you hate Democrats. You all hate each other for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Your rights are mine and mine are yours. So don't sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, don't at all. Don't do it. You know what? I wonder what. Let's do this. Let's go to the movies for a minute and let's see what they have at the movies on the Constitution, because I've never really looked at this. Let's take a peek here.
You can watch the whole Constitution. It will read it to you. I used to listen to it every night. You can pull it right up on YouTube, and it will read the whole Constitution to you.
Let's see.
That
here.
explains it.
All right. Here we go. Let's take him up here. Share. Constitution. Share. All right. Let's have a peek here. Let's see what we can come up with. Which one looks good here? Oh, who gave the government permission to rule you? Let's check this one out.
Who gave the government the authority to rule you? Think about that. The Declaration of Independence says governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, not from the president, not the courts, not from politicians, not from bureaucrats, from the people. That means government doesn't own your rights. It doesn't create your rights. And it doesn't get unlimited power simply because an official says, that's the law. The Constitution exists to define and limit government power. So when someone tells you, you have to do this because the government says so, ask one question. Where did you get that authority? What law grants it? What constitutional power supports it? Because if the government can exercise any power it wants without authority from the people, then what exactly does consent of the governed mean? That's the line we need to understand. Government is supposed to be accountable to the people, not the people accountable to unlimited government. Follow the American paper trail. Share to get people informed. Give me a topic for next video. Who gave the government the authority to...
Dana, what is consent of the governed? Do you know? Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, absolutely. It is the permission of the people being governed. We, the people, delegated limited authority to our government, which means all authority is ours initially. Okay, sovereign authority. We delegate limited authority. It's called surrogate authority to our elected servants to accomplish very specific tasks, which are clearly defined in the Constitution. Any authority that we have not delegated to them, they don't have. And anytime someone comes at you and starts barking orders, commands, telling you what to do, telling you, it's my least favorite phrase, you're not allowed to do this, not allowed to do this, have to do this, have to do that. You say, by what authority? By what authority?
People
Most
need to
of them
burn that in
don't
their
have
brains.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you something else here, Darren, that I think you'll find interesting, and I think that the viewers will find very interesting. I told you that when I started this journey years ago, I started wondering why it very much seemed to me that our Constitution was routinely being violated. And I started looking for people with expertise in that area. They were very hard to find, which I thought was odd. and even lawyers don't know the Constitution at all, or at least not well. And no one could explain to me how this was okay. And I was like, I don't understand this. This is like, the rule is, okay, we have a pool and we have rules in the pool. One of the rules of the pool is no glass containers, because we don't want glass to be something to be broken, and we have broken glass around where everyone's running around barefoot. This makes sense. And there's people walking in all the time holding a Pepsi or a beer in a glass container. And I'm going, wait a minute. Why? And I stop one of the lifeguards and I go, why are these people doing this? Is they get the rules? And the lifeguard starts going, well, sometimes on Sunday, people aren't able to get other types of containers. And once in a while, the pool owner lets his son come in. And I'm thinking, none of this makes sense. Why is it okay for someone to violate the rules? And the answer, and I found this, and I'm utterly certain I'm correct, is it doesn't. They don't. They just don't have the authority. So one of the people that I met in my journey, who's now a good friend of mine, his name is Clyde Cleveland. And he is a constitutional historian. He wrote a fantastic piece called Common Sense Revisited. We were talking about common sense last session, which was written by Thomas Paine, which kind of swayed the opinions of a lot of people during the colonial times about opposing England. And Clyde wrote this thing, Common Sense Revisited, which talks about this, and it talks about the concept of bottom-up government. And I sent you a link to a kind of a short video of Clyde, who attended a constitutional congress back in 2009, with a whole bunch of other historians and constitutional scholars. And he was interviewed, and he gave a brief summation of our situation worldwide that I thought was very, very well said. And it's worth a listen. It's not long. I'm just a bill.
We used to watch that. They actually did show that when I was in school. That's actually how I did
it. Here it is.
No, I sent it in private chat. Okay. I can't use sound. I don't know why. Stupid Restream.
Oh, I saw that one.
Wrong one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one white kid. Scroll down.
Would you like the truth this morning?
Tell us the truth.
Okay, here's what's happening. There's two forces in this planet that are at work right now. There's a force of freedom and liberty and light and love. And there's a force of darkness, control, top-down government tyranny. The major focal point of that force is the central banking institution and the ruling elite around them. And their main function,
Somebody's echoing.
Avenue for control is the United Nations, the World Monetary Fund, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, all of this, it's all working together to create a top-down government from the United Nations and to destroy individual sovereignty of nations. There is nothing positive about this. They wrap themselves in the cloak of equality and human justice and social justice and all of these terms which sound great, but there is no connection between that entity and the people of the world. There's no indigenous power there. It's all surrogate power. It's all top-down. In other words, we the people are the only source of indigenous power on the earth. All of these surrogates, these governments and other entities, are created by us to perform a service or to us. And ladies and gentlemen, all they really care about is their own maintaining and expanding. The ultimate surrogate in this world is the United Nations. That's where the source of all this evil is coming from. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to get rid of darkness, and that is to bring in the light. That is what we're doing here in the Continental Congress. We are bringing in the light. We are exposing what's really happening in this world on all levels. All the corruption in our government has as its basis the New World Order, the New World Government, and top-down government. They want to destroy our indigenous power and all indigenous power on the planet and replace that with the top-down surrogate power, and they are the ultimate surrogate power. So that is what we were doing here. The key is to get back to our Constitution. Our Constitution is based on completely different principles. Our Constitution is based on individual freedom, individual sovereignty, and liberty. Our founders created a bottom-up structure for us. A bottom-up structure, a bottom-up government is based on indigenous power and local control. Our state governments were supposed to have very limited control, limited by a constitution. Our federal government was even more limited, limited to very specific enumerated powers, with all the control being with the individuals and local governments. That has been completely subverted, turned on its head. It's gone from bottom up to top down. And we need to turn that back. The biggest tool, the most important tool we have to restore our freedom and our liberty is the Constitution of the United States. If we follow that, we can get back our indigenous power. That's what we're all about here at Continental Congress. It's all about you educating all of your friends and your neighbors and your family about what we are doing here. The work we are doing here is crucial. And please follow along what we're doing. Tell your friends to listen in and learn everything you can about what we're doing and help us in our efforts. We're going to be coming out here with plans for you to take civic action at your local level and at state level to help us get our country back. Thank you very, very much. Have a great day. I got to get into back into session here. Thank you.
You can cut that. There you go, folks. You can check this guy out at ClydeCleveland.com, and if you go to YouTube, you can find him under Clyde Cleveland on YouTube.
Darren, Deidre said she sent you a video.
No, Darren has died. Goodbye, Darren.
Yeah, it's a
Darren?
messenger. Darren's there.
Where is
he's muted.
Darren?
That's why. He's muted. He muted himself.
Oh.
Like a dumb.
Well, no, he was echoing, so he muted
Darren?
himself, so he wouldn't be echoing. But now he's
Darren, now we
struggling
can
to
hear
unmute
you.
himself.
Maybe.
Deidre, I'll tell you what, we'll end the show with that one. How's that? I'll end the show with Deidre's video. That's what we'll do with that. But for right now, let's bring Madman out too, and let's see what he has to say today. Let's get a little Madman update. How about that?
For sure.
Madman,
in here.
what's happening, brother? Oh, we caught him in the middle of a grandpa break. What's happening, brother?
You're muted, bro. There you go.
He's got to get out of the grandpa's. Let's see what he has to say today. We got some updates from him. What's up, homie?
Not much. Got a major update.
All right, what do we got?
Lay it on us.
But so I was waiting to see if there was going to be another volunteer or if it was going to be the actual caseworker today for the visit with our son. And it ended up being the one volunteer that is putting in good words in on the report. He showed everything, and it's all positive. There's no negative. Unlike the supervisor and our original caseworker. But that being said, he even agreed with me. He goes, keep on doing what you're doing. Fight with the Constitution. And I'm like, where are you placed out of? And he goes, Houston. Like, there is something going on that is not being brought to light. But the real big update is me and my fiance, we reached out. Well, her mom reached out to an attorney, a pro bono attorney, because of me not being able to work because of the case going on and all that. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we have a consultation going on.
Oh, good for you, man. Good stuff.
Because mine still hasn't gotten a hold of me, so he's fired. I'm done.
Yep. Good for you, brother. That's good news. That's really good news for you.
There's a lot of shyster attorneys out there. Unfortunately, there's a lot of attorneys that take advantage of people. They ask for some huge sum of money as a retainer, which always offended me to the core of my being. I'm supposed to pay you before you've done any work? Really? Hell no. But they more or less require it. A lot of them do. Most of them do. And then once they have your money, what's their incentive? They don't have any incentive to do any work for you. They've already got your money. And then they'll make shit up. They'll be like, oh, I spent time doing this and doing that, and they're charging, hundreds of dollars an hour to do menial shit. I had a friend, she went through a divorce, and her attorney and her soon-to-be ex-husband's attorney had their secretaries arguing and writing each other letters to argue with each other and billing both of them for their hourly time. I kid you not. It's God's honest truth.
Oh boy.
Doesn't surprise me.
A lot of them are shysters. They really are. My friend Dr. Paul Goslin here in Maine, this is a whole story, but you can look this up. Dr. Paul Goslin, he is a friend of mine. He was a doctor. He was stripped of his license because he was basically opposing the COVID narrative, and they don't want that, so they were punishing him for that. And he ended up in New York in an incident and was shot by police. They claim he was trying to run over a constable, but that's a crock of bull. He ended up paying some lawyer, and still don't know the exact amount, but it was actually his sister, I think, who did this, and it was in the six-figure range that they paid this lawyer. Yeah, dude, yeah, like $100,000+ they paid this lawyer, and he didn't do squat, not squat. Okay, and Paul fired him, and what's he gonna do now? How are you gonna get that money back? You sue a lawyer, right?
Right.
It's disgusting.
Learn your rights.
They don't help. It doesn't help that the attorney that the court appointed to me is an upcoming judge.
Oh yeah, the attorney, the public defenders, they all work for the court. So I mean, what difference does it make?
Right.
Yep.
I knew right off the bat, like when we had our first court hearing, I told him, I'm not signing nothing. I worked full time because at that time I was working 60, 70 plus hours a week. That being said, he goes, no, just sign it. I'm like, what? You don't want to listen to my side? I'm like, okay, something's going on here.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I hope this one works for you, brother.
Your side.
I really hope this guy is effective for you, and if he is, I'll be a huge fan.
Yeah, at least it's
makes an interesting point in the comments.
I think we need to start looking for lawyers who are actually doing that kind of work, that are like doing pro bono. Well, I mean, not necessarily pro bono, but actually sticking it to the system. I guess you should say.
Read it, Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Justin made a great comment that I wanted to read. As a plumber, I don't ever charge my clients to drive out to the job and look at it to place a bid. All lawyers should have to have that same job integrity, and I could not agree more. But lawyers sort of have developed more and more of a stranglehold. They have a captive market, and they've exploited that as much as they can. And like Becca and Madman just said, they're all in the same club. It's a big old club, and they just all are there patting each other on the back. And I could tell you a bunch of stories. I don't want to burn time up with it, but I know personally of many stories of just absolutely disgusting levels of corruption and graft going on in this community. It's really nauseating.
Yeah, but this morning, before we got to see our son, because we had a visit today, and oh my God, is he getting big? But besides the point, this morning I woke up, I'm like, my side's hurting, like right underneath my heart. Then when I realized what time it was, I'm like, it's 3:30. I get to see my son here in 45 minutes. And that pain went away. Then all of a sudden, while I was outside smoking a cigarette, because my grandpa's on oxygen, so can't smoke inside.
Good practice to follow.
And I'm like, I just get done with my cigarette and I stand up and I just get sick. And I'm like, something ain't right. And with how much I worked, I lost insurance, so I can't go to the doctor and figure out exactly what's going on. I hope it ain't my gallbladder where my pancreas shutting down again.
Stress.
We'll pray for you, buddy. We'll pray for you for that. We'll pray for you for your visit tomorrow, bud. But thank you for the update, man.
Hold on.
Just coming in.
If you walk into an emergency room, they cannot turn you away.
Oh, I know. I
So
have
you
no
need to
right.
go do that.
Right.
Oh,
You're
I
not
plan on
be
it.
good to your kid if you're dead.
Right. I'm trying to find a ride because I don't want another $1,500 ambulance bill.
Right.
Where do
I
you
already
live?
had
Where
one
are
from a
you?
month ago.
Where are you? What part of the world are you in?
Yorktown, Texas.
Yorktown, Texas. Well, if you need to get a ride, you call us up. You know how to get in touch with me or whatever. You need a ride, you call me up, and I'll make sure that you get to the hospital.
Okay.
All right. Don't get yourself all hurt. Because of you not wanting to spend that money. Because if you ain't around for that kid, what's it matter anyway? This fight that you're doing.
Right.
So think about. You always got to think about it that way. You're no good to that kid if you're dead.
Right.
So, don't play with those little games, buddy.
That's what I said. Loose nerves.
Yep. All right, man. We'll talk to you real soon, buddy. Thank you so much for checking in.
Good luck, man.
Keep us
No problem. I'll be in.
All
I'll
right.
message in the private chat how to get a hold of me, like on Facebook and all that, because my phone's off right now, not being able to work.
Okay, bud. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
So you get your info.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good old man. He's a good dude. Dr. Fowler's in the house. She's watching. Dr. Fowler. I was just looking for her. I just did a video for her. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. If I can pull it up. Let's see if this is the right one. She's got some big stuff going on too. This is it. All right, let me
At least someone can get through to him.
download. Download. All right, there we go. I'm gonna just pull this up. I just need a second here to pull it up. But you know what? While I'm doing this, let's see. I just saw one of these here that looked like was pretty damn interesting to watch. And it was let me see. Where is it? It is right here. This one. This guy looked like he had something pretty good to say about the Constitution itself. Let's take a peek here. Share. Play.
All right, so I got another good one here. That this is some more hard-hitting truth about our protected inherent rights from our Creator that they do not want. Really, they obviously don't want no one knowing about. That's why they don't teach state constitutions. But let's dive into this. So, as I've stated before, our rights are reserved outside of our public servants' limited delegated powers, and we're going to further drive this home and prove it even more. So, out of Black's Law, 4th edition, the deluxe version I got, we got constitutional right, which is defined as a right guaranteed to the citizens by the Constitution, and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith. Right? And so what does that just say? It's saying that legislative interference is constitutionally prohibited. They are prohibited from doing anything that interferes with our rights. So again, any of their statutes, ordinances, policy, codes, court rules that try to limit, regulate, or license our rights, it's constitutionally void from inception. It has no standing from inception. So we're going to break this down. The Constitution, as I've stated before, it is a trust indenture. Okay, it's a binding agreement that our public servants are willingly agreeing to be governed by. It's showing that we the people, we're the creators and the beneficiaries of this trust. Okay, government is our trustee, the public servant, and the
not the same thing, but
isn't he saying that right there? They swear that oath.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yes, the oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. That's correct. So, what he's talking about is literally built into the Constitution that if they defy it, if they, for example, vote for something that is unconstitutional, they're out of office and they don't have the authority to interfere with your rights. They literally do not have that authority, but they do it all the time.
All right.
Bill of Rights is the restriction clause, showing them that you don't touch this. You don't have the authority. You only have the limited powers that were that we're delegating to you. So in trust law, a trustee cannot rewrite the indenture, they can't expand their powers, or interfere with the rights of the beneficiary. So our rights are not granted by the Constitution. They are secured and shielded. They're protected from our government public servants. That's why our founders established this way, right? But again, they've gotten away with this for so long because we've all been made very ignorant to how this system works. But they've done this to enslave everyone. But we're waking up, and we're going to keep educating people, and we're going to get more and more people on board, and we're going to restore our republics.
That's what he was talking about there. So yeah, good stuff right there too. Very good stuff.
There it is. And you all need to remember that just because they're ignoring it does not mean it doesn't exist. And I couldn't understand how it could be ignored so flagrantly. This isn't a small thing. It's not like a few people somewhere are getting away with it sometimes. It's like the entire government. When the Patriot Act was passed, it blew my mind. Because it is so flagrantly, obviously unconstitutional. No rational human being could think the Patriot Act is not a spit in the face of the Constitution. And yet, there it is. They voted for it. By the way, it literally doesn't exist according to the law. And that's God's honest truth, because it's unconstitutional. It's null and void. Supreme Court said so. End of story.
Oh, come on, Dana. After the two Twin Towers got crashed into by some rogue planes that flew away from the airports, the Patriot Act came about? Come on. It's got to be real.
No one would have ever thought that aluminum planes could go right through steel girders, but apparently they can. And every single bit of it was powdered. The concrete was powdered, but an entire whole passport was found in the wreckage. Imagine that.
I watched something on the Pentagon the other day. Now, the most protected building in the world, most protected building in the entire world, they said, was able to get flown into with no cameras, no nothing to be able to see it and blow right through the side of that building.
We're a little in the weeds here, but I kind of want to keep going just because a lot of people may not know this. When I first heard this whole thing, I thought it was ridiculous that something this huge could be faked and lied about. But according to a large array of pilots, including a lot of former airline pilots that worked for commercial airlines, military pilots, the explanation of the route that the plane would have to have taken in order to hit the Pentagon at the angle they claim is virtually impossible. Like, they all have said there's no way in hell that a plane could have made the maneuvers at the speed that they claimed that it made and then come in basically flat along the ground and hit the side of the Pentagon. And if you look at the side of the Pentagon, the pictures that were taken immediately after this, you'd have to be insane to think that was the site of a plane crash. It just, there's no plane wreckage. There should be engines and tail section and
nor bodies,
portions of the wings, bodies strewn everywhere. Instead, there's a hole, a relatively narrow hole with black charred edges all around, which I am told, and I have it on good faith, it was actually a missile supposedly that hit the Pentagon.
I wonder what was in that part of the Pentagon.
Good question.
So guys, here's I know you all know Dr. Fowler. I want you guys to see this. This is something that we worked on over the weekend but this is something to look forward to right here.
4-month-old goes in for a routine checkup. She never comes home. Somewhere between a waiting room and a case file, a family loses a child they were never accused of harming. This grandmother had already raised 2 of her grandchildren through crisis. With the court's full blessing, she had legal standing, she had a track record, she had the law itself on her side. None of it stopped the system from taking one more. That was years ago. There has been no visit, no photo, no answer to a single question. Is she safe? So she filed, and filed again, petitions, contempt motions, records requests, aimed at a system that would rather she stay quiet. This is not a custody dispute. This is a grandmother against a system that treats children like case numbers. She has not stopped asking. She has not stopped filing. She has not stopped believing an answer is owed. Where is baby Carly? Her story, coming soon.
Yes. So that is the intro to Dr. Fowler's story that she'll be telling very soon. Dana, Michelle, and Michael and Jennifer perhaps want to know, is this an affidavit episode? Want to give them a lowdown on an affidavit, Brent?
I mean, they all kind of are. The affidavit is the most powerful tool that we possess, and there's a lot of information out there. Did a little bit of research, and you know, I'm going to be offering some more specific references as soon as I can. I'm like neck deep in work, literally doing it now. But an affidavit is a sworn statement of fact made under penalty of perjury. Making an affidavit makes your claims in writing sent to a particular individual, specifically people who have harmed you or caused you some form of harm, and it puts them on notice that you are declaring this in a fashion that if they do not rebut it, it will stand as fact in a court of law. So it lets them know you're serious. It documents a very specific claim on your part, and then if they don't rebut it, and you know, if you're doing an affidavit right and you're saying things that are true, they can't rebut it, because then they would be perjuring themselves, you see. So these are powerful tools that give us an advantage in a situation where we're required to enter the corrupt judicial system, or it may even keep you out of the judicial system. You send an affidavit, you might find that the people that are attacking you will suddenly back down. And that's been done. I've heard of instances of this being done before. So
I just had to write one for my friend who literally, the landlord did a self-help eviction and they wouldn't let her get her stuff. So I helped her, and I wrote her a notice to them, like, I want back on my property. I want to get my property back. She texted me this morning and said, landlord scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. to let me in to get my stuff.
It's the sort of God.
That easy. They will change their tone very, very quickly.
I want to see this video.
Which one?
The one that Deidre sent you.
All right. You saying you're ready to get out of here?
Yeah. That's what she's saying.
Darren, you know, I only got 5 hours of sleep. I had to deal with the Incredible Hulk on steroids after he left the dentist's office today. I have not had time to take a nap. I had to work. I had to do second grade schoolwork today. And yes, I'm tired, and I want to see this video because I don't have to go to second grade tomorrow. So I want to sleep a little bit.
All right.
Or two.
Well, have a good night, everybody. Don't forget, May Matters on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, May Matters.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, bro. Eastern Standard.
For love testing limits, to pressure get applied. You want to smoke? Now breathe it. Fuck around and find out. Play crazy lights out. Talking loud on the net. Quiet when we ride out. Fuck around and find out. Pressure bring the truth out. Everybody gangster till that fire get put out. Hey, I've been humble too long, now the beast waking. Built from hard times, losses, and frustration. You mistook kindness for weakness, that's tragic. Now I'm moving calculated like mathematics. Don't start nothing you can't finish. A lot of wolves online, really kidding. All that woofing disappear when it's crunch time. Heard your heartbeat change when it's lunchtime. Street code, loyalty real. Real ones move quiet, we ain't announcing warfare. I was taught never bark unless you gon' bite, and never throw stones if your house ain't right. Fuck around and find out, find out. Play crazy lights out, play crazy lights out. Talking loud on the net. Quiet when we ride out. Fuck around and find out, find out. Pressure bring the truth out. Everybody gangster till that fire get pulled out. You can't intimidate a soul that survived pain. them stood in hard rain. Seen fake love, crossroads, betrayal too. That's why my circle's small and my vision true. This ain't anger, this survival. Some lessons turned men tribal. You kept pushing buttons thinking it was sweet. Now reality and ego finally meet. A lion don't gotta tell you you're dangerous. Silence louder than the ones trying to bang with us. And I ain't chasing beef, I'm chasing peace. But disrespect can wake a different beast. Careful what energy you send in the air, 'cause consequences really do live there. Everybody tough when the camera's out, so real life show what they really about. Fuck around and find out, find out. Truth coming full out. Ain't no rewinds in this life. Better choose your mouth. Fuck around and find out, find out. Some doors don't reopen, some lines you cross once, and that's the moment.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?